Hello guys, it's Eugen, also known as Templayer from Warcraft Designs, and today I want to discuss with you the hotfix of Warcraft 3 Reforged that has returned the old textures into game archives. So as you can see on the screen, we have example of classic SD Ashenval textures, we have another example of HD Reforged 1.36, and we have screenshot from current patch HD 2.0. So Blizzard listened to custom community and returned 1.36 textures in the game archives, and I'm very grateful to them for this. It means that they paid attention to Warcraft 3 fanbase, to custom games community, and they shown their care about the people who make custom content for Warcraft 3 and Warcraft 3 Reforged. So as you can see, the new folder has appeared in the game archive, which is called Terrain Art Old, and it contains the tile sets, the doodads buildings, gold mines, trees, and terrain art from the previous version. And it is accessible for modders, but still modders cannot flexibly use this, because if they open World Editor, there is actually no way to access those old textures. The only way to access those old textures is to use export them from the game files and then use map asset manager and import them with respectful path here. And it's a bit tedious because every terrain has dozens of textures, and since it's PBR, it has diffuse, normal, and ORM maps that has to be re-imported for every tile. So how can modders modify terrain without those imports, and how Blizzard could help to make it simpler? So at the moment, the game is structured by original developers in such a way that there are specific files: terrain SLK, cliff types SLK, water SLK, and weather SLK in the game archive. So these basically these files are Excel tables or sheets that contain the links to the specific game files, and Game Engine recognizes that for Lordaeron dirt tile it should use the texture that is placed with this respectful path. So how can modders at the moment modify terrain? They can take this terrain SLK file and rewrite the pathing to look at the terrain art old folder, and then they could place this terrain SLK file in the game local files in the retail folder of the installed game with path terrain art terrain SLK, and basically game will use this retail local file instead of the game file. And that's cool, but it has its drawbacks. The drawback is that every map on the client for the player will use those overridden paths, and this is not good. This is not good because as a custom creator, if I want to make a map with very specific terrain like Tanaan Jungle or Zangarmarsh for whatever reasons, I don't want my modification to affect other maps, other melee maps. And if I put my custom map on the Hive Workshop and I will put this terrain SLK file with instructions to place them in the game archive, some players will be angry at me because I messed up with other maps. So how can we overcome this issue? In this case, we need help from Blizzard RTS Warcraft dev team. So at the moment I will be asking humbly this team to add a new feature in the world editor So as you can see, in the Warcraft 3 world editor there is an asset manager. And if I import the terrain SLK files and the cliff types SLK files in the map, at the moment they will not affect the terrain textures that map is looking for. And I asked Blizzard to actually make it work. So instead of placing those files in the game folder and affecting other maps, the custom creators could import them in the map or into campaign and customize terrain only for the map and for campaign. And this would give a lot of flexibility and independence for custom creators, so their maps would have more interesting, creative and diverse terrains or water settings without affecting any other maps or any other custom creators, and melee audience would have the default reforged terrains and will not be affected by other custom creators. And it would be nice, it would be really awesome. So I am asking Blizzard to help custom community to thrive and add this feature of customizing terrains. So next point about which I want to talk about is the bugs of the world editor. I will talk about it very briefly, and I will put the list of very annoying world editor bugs in the description below the video, so you could check them. But overall, there are some bugs that blocking custom creators or making their life really hard in overcoming those bugs. It's related to crashes of the world editor, it's related to some things that doesn't work, and basically we need to restart work editor in order to save another map in the campaign, or it's mostly about crashes and problems with importing assets, importing textures and importing models and textures. So if you guys want me to make a separate video about world editor bugs, please write and comment below the video. And if any Blizzard developer or any guy from Blizzard RTS team is watching this video, please take a look at those bugs, they're really important. And the last point about which I want to talk about is the mod manager feature request for Warcraft 3. So StarCraft 2 has an interesting feature. Let me just open the StarCraft 2 editor. So StarCraft 2 has a specific feature related to mod management. And I understand that Blizzard devs might be constrained by budgets, or they probably don't have a lot of man hours for supporting Warcraft 3, but if they can, I encourage them to take a look at this feature. What this feature actually does for StarCraft 2. It allows custom creator to link a custom map, to a specific game folder, specific archive with custom textures and models. And this, if this feature could be reverse engineered and implemented in Warcraft 3, it could have immense impact on future of Warcraft 3 custom games. Imagine if some group of enthusiasts would inspire with these new terrains, and they would redraw or remodel all creeps, units and buildings in the Heroes of the Storm style, and they could pack all those assets into mod archive and link this mod archive to a particular map or particular custom campaign, because at the moment the map custom import is constrained with 250 megabytes, and the campaign custom import is not restricted, but campaign file is getting corrupted when the import assets exceed 2.2 gigabytes when campaign is packed. So this StarCraft 2 feature could help modders to overcome those limitations and it would allow them to create reskins, model packs, like huge amount of custom content, easily manageable, linked to a particular map, and it would not affect other maps on the client. It would help, like, imagine really a simple archive that can be linked to the map, and it replaces all the creeps to Heroes of the Storm style models, or the basic human orc night elf tech tree to Heroes of the Storm style models. And it's like, it would be a nice feature, and I would be grateful if Blizzard at least evaluated, the Blizzard RTS team at least evaluated, is it possible to reverse engineer those features, this feature from StarCraft 2 engine into Warcraft 3, to allow custom creators to be more productive, more flexible, more independent from affecting other melee maps. And it would really make all Warcraft 3 players happy, because melee players would use default settings and custom creators would simply download some mod pack from Hive Workshop and connect it to the map, and they could use it, and they would it would be really great. So this was my take on Reforged updates, on the terrain modifications, overall on the possibilities of future possibilities of modifications if Blizzard continue to help us, and if they continue to provide care for Warcraft 3 player base. I really hope that it will happen, and I'm thankful to Blizzard for the patch that they provided. And I think that's all. Write your comments below the video, tell me if you want me to discuss something else related to World Editor, and see you in the next videos. Bye!